Hey everyone, this is Tally with TG, and we are here in the Bastion of Twilight, 25-man Twilight Ascendant Council. Let's go over some of Ignatius's abilities here. He has Flame Torrent, which is basically a frontal fire attack. He only does it in a frontal cone. That's why I actually point him away from the range and the melee. Only I should be getting hit by it. He also does a heroic leap. Oh, sorry, Blizzard calls it Inferno Leap. Very clever, Blizzard. And he'll do a heroic leap to, I don't know if it's whoever's farthest, but it's someone in the range just gets hit by it. It'll knock you back. He does like a Thunderclap style ability, except it's fire. He'll knock you back, and that's that. He also has what we call the Aegis of Flame. What he does is he puts a shield around his body, okay? And what this shield is, you have to do 1,000,000 damage to the shield to get it down. But while the shield is up, he does a cast called Rising Flames. And Rising Flames is basically a fire AoE attack. There, he's pulsing it out right there to the entire raid. And every time he does that, every time he gets a pulse off, he gets a stacking buff on himself that makes him do more damage. So what you have to do is you have to take down the shield, and after the shield is down, interrupt this cast, and that'll be that. The range should probably pre-switch 3 seconds or so before the shield goes up, just so they can have all their dots and debuffs go up, etc. And now Falutius is throwing out water bombs right here. If you get hit by a water bomb, you get what we call waterlogged. You see my voodoo on the lower right. A lot of people just got waterlogged. The only way to get rid of waterlog is to run into a fire. Either you run into the fire stream that he leaves behind after he does the heroic leap. If you get hit by the flame torrent, which you don't want to get hit by, it'll get rid of it. And the Rising Flames AoE attack will also get rid of it. While he's in his shield. Falutius also does an Ice Lance, which is why we keep a Fury Warrior over there to help the Prot Warrior interrupt it. It does 60k damage to whoever it hits. Very bad. He also does an AoE ability called Glaciate. Glaciate will do less damage to whoever's farther. That's how we have the ranged on Falutius and the melee on Ignatius. Now, during this encounter, there is a debuff that you get. One is called the Heart of Ice. And Burning Blood. There you go. When you get Heart of Ice, you run it into the melee. It will let the melee, it will kind of like spread to the melee, and it will let them do more damage to Ignatius. If you have Burning Blood, run it to the range. It will make the range do more damage to Falutius, and it is dispellable, but do not dispel it until you get into the melee or the range with the proper debuff. Now, at 25%, we want to try to get both of them to 25%, and we will do a switch here to the phase 2, to the next two. Who are Arion and Terestia. I'm going to take Arion here on the left side of the room. The other tank is going to take Terestia on the right side. Now, Arion has a few abilities. He's going to have one called Call Winds, okay? Call Winds is going to kind of levitate you. You're going to have to, you want everyone in the raid to run to the tornado. Everyone gets a tornado, you get a debuff. That kind of levitates you for 2 minutes. Why does it do this? Because Terestia, excuse me, I'm burping here. Terestia does a quake, and as long as you're levitated, the quake will not hit you. And you'll know it's quaking because if you have, any type of, there it is. That's the quake right there. And after you're done with the quake, now it's Arion's turn. Arion's going to do something called Thunderstruck. And with Thunderstruck, it's basically an AoE lightning attack to the entire raid, but does not hit as hard as Quake. The tanks don't actually get what we call grounded. On the right side of the screen there, you see everyone's running to that little like vortex on the ground. It's kind of like a swirling vortex. It's called getting grounded. Once you're grounded, and the electricity hits the entire raid, you won't take any damage. But the tanks don't get grounded. We just want to keep our NPCs on the correct side of the room. Arion also does a disperse. He disperses to some random place in the room, and he does kind of like a lightning shock to the main tank that's tanking him. So here we go. It says lightning incoming, thundershock in 10 seconds. Everyone should be grounded except for the tanks. Tanks don't take barely any damage from this. We take like, I don't know. Let's see how much damage I take right here. It's really like small. It's minuscule. And I take 50,000 damage, which is 50,000 of my 190 something K or 187 K, which is not that much at all. Terestia has something called Hardened Skin. Now, Hardened Skin is completely interruptible. Now, for some reason, during this encounter, if you actually interrupt Hardened Skin, Terestia will not quake until 4.0.6 comes out. Once that comes out, Hardened Skin, even if it's interrupted, will not force Terestia to not cast Quake. So he's going to cast Quake regardless. So now what we were doing is we were like, okay, so let's everyone just, fuck the tornadoes and just interrupt it. But it's a really fast cast. You really have to just time it perfectly to get it off. Also during the fight, very important, very, very important, lightning rod. Oh my god, if you have a lightning rod, get the fuck away from the raid, okay? We had so many problems, people just standing, there's another earthquake, people standing in the raid. If you stand in the raid while you have a lightning rod, you will chain lightning like 6, 7, 8 people, and we will all just die. It will be a one-shot. It'll do like 60,000 damage, times like 7 for every person that's there. I'm just being exaggerative here, but I'm exaggerating, but it hits fucking hard. So what we do is we have the people with the lightning rod. As you can see there, he chained them, but they weren't near anyone, so no one got hurt, and they didn't get hit hard themselves. We make them go to the outskirts of the room, go to a wall, stay to the wall until it's done, and then go about your way. Other than that, Teresha does some little rock ground thing that you just have to get out of. But here we go. That our powers combine. Earth, wind, fire, all this other shit. Now it's Captain Planet time. Now they all form together. You want to get them each to 25%. You can even burn them more. We actually did a good job on this one. We got them all down to about 21, 22%. So now here we go. It's like Professor Putricide all over again. Okay, now we got to kite the boss around the circle. Now here's the hard part. Actually, it's not hard if you're not retarded. Your ranged have to spread out. They say it's 8 yards, but we did a /10. Everyone has to be 10 yards spread out in a range. He does this lightning chain ability right here. It's that lightning. He hits everybody, and if you chain people, you're gonna die, and you're gonna die really quick. The melee actually don't get hit by this ability, but if the melee, like you see a few melee right there standing on like the range side of the boss, so they're actually chaining the range, and they're also chaining some of the melee until our GM goes apeshit and screams and calls everyone a tard and tells them to get to the right side of the boss. But during this phase, all healers have to do is heal the range. The melee take no damage as long as they don't stand in the stupid water on the ground. The main tank who's tanking the Elementium Monstrosity cannot keep the boss in the water, or else the water just expands. So you got to keep them constantly moving, constantly moving. So right now, all the healers should do is blow all of their mana, everything, on the range. She also does a lava seed, as you see right there. Basically what that is just a fire explosion. You'll see a little dot on the ground. Just stay away from it. Pretty simple. He also does a gravity crush on 3 members. He basically, like that, he kind of like choke holds you in the air, keeps you up there, and that's basically it. And that's fucked up because the fight ended and he kind of just drops me and I take fall damage. Anyway, and that was phase 3. So phase 3, please make sure that your range is spread out properly in the center of the room. The tank will kite him around the outskirts of the room with the melee. The melee will stand on the outside of the boss, away from the range. This way, the only people who actually need heals in the entire raid are the range. All the healers do is blow bombs, blow their load. Oh, yeah. Oh, all over the fucking range. Okay, that's all you got to do. So, hey, look, it's all the loot. But this has been Tally with TGN. This has been Twilight Ascendant Council in the Bastion of Twilight, 25-man normal. More videos to come from my raids. We're starting heroic mode, so hopefully we'll see some of those. Twitter.com/TalTheTank, Facebook.com/TalTheTank. Once again, this has been Tally with TGN. Comment, subscribe, give us your feedback. Peace out.